Hi, guys, and welcome to another episode of Tax and Financial Matters, the place where we discuss tax and financial matters. Welcome to this introductory lecture on the fundamental principles of the European Union law. Over the next couple of minutes, we'll explore the core principles that form the foundation of the EU's legal system. These principles are crucial for understanding how the EU operates and impacts its member states and citizens. Let's begin with the principle of conferral, outlined in the Article 5.2 of the Treaty on the European Union. This principle dictates that the EU can only act within the powers granted by the treaties. It limits the EU scope of action, ensuring that any powers not explicitly conferred remain with the member states. Competencies are divided into exclusive, shared, and supporting. For instance, the EU has exclusive competence in custom union policies, meaning only the EU can legislate and adopt legally binding acts in this area. The principle of subsidiarity ensures that decisions are made as closely as possible to the citizens. It means that the EU should only act when objectives cannot be sufficiently achieved by the member states alone, particularly in areas of shared competence. This principle promotes efficiency and relevance, preventing unnecessary EU intervention. National parliaments play a role in monitoring compliance with subsidiarity. An example is environmental regulation, where issues like pollution often require coordinated action beyond national borders. Under the principle of proportionality, any action taken by the EU must be limited to what is necessary to achieve the objectives of the treaties. This means that measures should appropriate, not excessive, and should balance the means used with the desired ends. It prevents overregulation and ensures that the EU legislation does not impose unnecessary burdens. For example, when setting safety standards, regulation should impose only the minimal restrictions needed to protect the customers. The EU places great importance on fundamental rights consolidated in the Charter of Fundamental Rights of the European Union. Since the Lisbon Treaty in 2009, the Charter has been legally binding. It covers a wide range of rights, including dignity, freedoms, equality, solidarity, citizen rights, and justice. This charter guides EU legislation and policies, ensuring that the individual rights are protected across all member states. The four freedoms are fundamental to the EU's single market. They allow for the free movement of goods, services, capital, and persons across member states. This integration leads to economic growth, job creation, and fosters cultural exchange among the diverse populations of the EU. It empowers citizens to live, work, and study anywhere within the Union, enhancing unity and cooperation. The rule of law is a cornerstone of the EU's legal system. It means that all EU actions are based on the treaties agreed upon by the member states. This ensures legal certainty and predictability, which are vital for individuals and businesses. Key elements include transparency in decision making, equal application of laws, and the ability for judicial review by the Court of Justice of the European Union. Upholding the rule of law protects rights and freedoms and maintains trust in the EU institutions. Democracy and human rights are integral to the EU's identity. The EU operates on democratic principles, with the European Parliament representing citizens through direct elections. It also encourages participatory democracy by involving citizens in initiatives and consultations. The EU is committed to promoting and protecting human rights, both within its border and internationally, respecting diversity and minority rights. By leading by example, the EU advocates for high human rights standards globally. To conclude, we have covered the fundamental principles that are essential for the functioning of the European Union. These principles ensure that the EU operates effectively, respects the sovereignty of its member states, and protects the rights of its citizens. They provide a balance between unity and diversity, enabling the EU to act collectively while still valuing individual member states. A thorough understanding of these principles is crucial as we delve deeper into the complexities of the EU law.